So here we go.
These guys have a lot to say, and they never stop talking.
If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time?
Sky's the limit and space is the place.
Ooh, yeah.
Live from News Talk 1480 WHBC.
It's a household name.
You understand me?
It's Kenny and JT.
Have a great show.
That's right. Come on in, man. It is, do you believe this? 29 degrees at the corner of 6th and Market, beautiful downtown Canton, Ohio. In this Hall of Fame city today, it's Todd Monken Day.
It is. Hey, we're the Munkins. Everybody thinks messing around. They're not messing around. They brought him out today, and we got to meet the new head coach of the Cleveland Browns, Todd Monken, in about a 40-minute press conference today.
I love a lot of the questions that they ask him that he can't possibly answer, but you've got to ask the questions. What are you going to do with the quarterback? What are you going to do with the defense? What about your defensive coordinator? The only thing I can think of right now as it pertains to defensive coordinator of the Cleveland Browns is this. The other positions throughout the league are starting to fill up. So if you're Jim Schwartz and you are angry and you want it out of the building, where are you going to go if you don't come back?
And here's the problem. He is under contract for 2 more years with the Browns. Whether he wants to stay or not, he might be forced to stay unless they do what they did with Callahan, what they did with Shanahan. They let them out of good faith, and they both went to, other jobs. So will the Browns do that and let Jim Schwartz go? JT, I don't know, like you said, if there's another job he can get, or if he just wants away from them because he's so pissed off that he didn't get the job he thought he was qualified for.
They say clearer minds prevail. I mean, obviously he was upset. He was hurt when he walked out the building. But what that shows me is if I'm in a position of hiring the guy or retaining him, I might look at him a little bit differently now if I'm Andrew Berry, if I'm Jimmy Haslam, maybe even if I'm Todd Monken. Do I want that guy around? If he's a malcontent, he was that angry that he didn't get the job, how's he going to be if he has to work for me?
Do you have the cut, please, that I asked you at the last minute to pull up of Jim Schwartz, because there were times during this press conference today, and you're going to hear the entire press conference by the end of this show. You're going to hear from Andrew Berry, you're going to hear from Jimmy Haslam and Todd Monken throughout the entire show, okay? But this was in reference to Jim Schwartz. He was asked about him a couple of times, and then he was asked about the defense and if he was going to keep the same defense now that he's taken the job as head coach of the Browns.
My anticipation is we're not going to change the system. Very difficult to go against. Not planning on changing the system. We're built for the system that they're in currently. And I'm not going to get into staffing because that's not at this time to get into that. But they can be rest assured that we're going to keep the same system. We're still going to let them attack. We're still going to let them play free. I can't see any other way. They're a big reason why I took this job. The defensive players. I didn't take this job because of Jim Schwartz. I have a lot of respect for Jim Schwartz, but as I would be as for me. But I took it because of the players that are here, the ownership, Andrew Berry, and the ability to build this roster from the ground up on the offensive side. So, and I said this to the other guys. I didn't, but I'm going to say it. When I was preparing for the Cleveland Browns, I wasn't trying to chip Jim Schwartz. I was chipping Myles Garrett. And when I was sliding a protection to the outside backers or Grant Delpit that were blitzing off the edge, I was sliding the protection of the players. And when I was worried about throwing to the right against Denzel Ward or Tyson Campbell to the left, that's who I was worried about throwing at.
I love that answer. Right now, that leads me to believe, and I'm reading between the lines here, that, okay, if Jim Schwartz doesn't want to be here, that's fine. I didn't come here because of him. I came because of the players, and I truly believe that, because the defense, we've talked about this, it may not be as great as they're trying to make it out to be, but it's pretty damn solid.
Right.
That's one side of the ball you don't have to worry as much about. Would it be nice to keep Jim Schwartz if he wants to be here and have him in charge of that yet again? Absolutely. If not, he just said we're keeping the same system. They'll just have a different voice, a different leader calling the plays for them on the sidelines during game day.
Absolutely. It boils down to personnel issues. And again, you want to give the guy respect. He's still in the building, and I get that. But, if the defense and the players themselves are comfortable with Jim Schwartz, that's fine. You want to retain him. He comes back in, and maybe you have to give him a raise or whatever. I understand that. But the other thing is this. not to get too technical, we understand that when they made the trade for Tyson Campbell, and he just mentioned him, the one cornerback on one side, you've got Denzel Ward on the other side. What this tells me is this: when he says he's going to keep everything the same in the same system, that means you're not going to run a primary zone defensively. You're going to stay in the man-to-man coverage, because when they made the move for Tyson Campbell, the reason he had more success in Cleveland is because he's a better man-to-man cornerback than he was in a zone. And that's what they played before they brought him in. So, I mean, there are a lot of things and moving parts to this. I will say this as it pertains to Todd Monken. He sounded hoarse, and it's probably been a whirlwind the last week or so. And maybe he's a little bit run down. And everybody was making comments about how he got off the plane and he had baggy jeans on. And whatever. I don't care what he looks like. As long as he knows about X's and O's, that's all that matters.
Right.
And the fact is this: he definitely won that press conference in my mind, because his answers were spot on. And when he started talking discipline, that's all we've been talking about for 3 years.
Amen. And Brian, let's pull that cut up here. The one about honesty I asked you to get, because he was asked about how he is going to hold people accountable, which is discipline, right? And when he said this, man, my eyes got wider, my ears perked up, right? And I was like, damn, that's the best thing I've heard in this press conference.
Everybody likes honesty until they don't like what's said to them honestly. I'm no different. I don't like the other side of it.
I love that, man.
Yeah.
You say, hey, I just want my coach to be honest with me. And then when he's speaking honestly to you and he's ripping you a new one, you better be able to accept that and realize it's for the betterment of the team as well as the individual.
The other thing I like, and like you said, we're going to hear the entire press conference, and it's really must listen to radio, because we heard it live this afternoon. Some of the TV stations even ran it in Cleveland.
Right.
I like the fact that this guy is a football mind. He was born to be a football coach. Whether or not he's a coach, with the exception of in college for a short instance, I don't care. The dude has been nothing but football since he's 5. 5.
You mean when he talked about Halloween, what he wanted to be for Halloween? He was either a football player or what?
You saw my post.
He was either a football player dressing up for Halloween or Evel Knievel.
That's right.
And that's the other time I did this. When I heard Evel Knievel as I was watching it, I was like, yes, an Evel Knievel reference.
Right.
Okay, I'm feeling better about this guy, Todd Monken, now.
But it also shows his age.
Yeah.
But he also talks in this press conference about how he's adapted, and he's a better coach today than he was 15 or 20 years ago. Amen, and let's go.
All right, what's your Twitter handle? It's the J Turk, right?
Yeah.
So if you go to the J Turk right now on Twitter, you're going to see a fabulous I don't know how you did this or whatever, but you've got the face of Todd Monken on Evel Knievel jumping over something on one of his motorcycles, because Todd Monken loved Evel Knievel. If we ever get the chance to talk to Todd Monken, my first question is, what was your favorite jump of Evel Knievel's career?
Right.
That's the first question I'm at. Look at that, baby. See that? I'm holding it up. There you go. That's JT's handiwork. Follow him at the J Turk on Twitter and check this tweet out, man. New Browns head coach Todd Monken and his alter ego, Evel Knievel, are ready to take on the challenge of jumping over the Steelers, Ravens, and Bengals to win the North. I love it.
Thank you, Chat GPT.
AI is a wonderful thing when it works like that, isn't it?
That's amazing.
Absolutely love that. So we're going to let you hear more from Todd Monken a little bit later on in the show. Now, if those of you that were watching on Facebook or on StreamYard or on what else? The YouTube channel. Right. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention to JT when he was talking. I felt like my shortish tell me. I felt like Adam Schefter as I was getting texts during the show. The other big story is what? Harden and Darius Garland swap Clippers and Cavs potentially. Chris Fedor, we're trying to get him on from where are they at? In Los Angeles right now?
Yeah.
Hopefully Chris is going to join us. He's going to text me and let me know to talk about that potential trade.
So I texted you last night, and I thought, no.
I know.
You know, the minute you hear someone's name, you just hope at times that you're not associated with it. And when they said, James Harden may be looking for a trade, I'm like, okay, let him go somewhere else.
Right.
I mean, my first reaction, let him go somewhere else. I don't want him here. And then, of course, it's got to be, and he's really tied to the Cavaliers. I'm thinking, no. But the more I read into it and the more I look at what's going on, I don't care if he's 36 years old. You have to look at the big picture of things. And if the Cavaliers window with their chance to get deep into the playoffs, maybe get to the Eastern Conference Finals, or dare I even say win it all. How are you going to do it with a guy that's only played 26 games? There's no guarantees that Darius Garland comes back at all this year.
I'm with you on that, man. If it's not one toe, it's the other toe. If it's I shouldn't say this, but a broken jaw, other bruises. He played 5 games in college because he's brittle and everything. He always seems to be hurt.
He's injury prone. If you've got a chance to win it right now, if Harden waives his no trade clause and wants to come to Clay. I mean, this isn't a done deal by far. And we've got until 3:00 Thursday, but it sure seems as though something's going on because they held Harden out the other night.
Yes, they did.
They play again tomorrow night against the Cavaliers. So my question's got to be this. When the Cavaliers play the Clippers, is Harden a member of the Cavaliers?
It's a great question.
I mean, he probably wouldn't play, but I mean, if they make the deal, I mean, they're practicing today, and Schroeder and Ellis were practicing with the Cavaliers. So chances are you're going to see one, if not both of them, tomorrow night.
And we're going to hear from Dennis Schroeder coming up in a little bit as we found some sound from him about being traded to the Cavaliers on the internet. We'll play that for you coming up here in a little bit. But correct me if I'm wrong. Aren't the Clippers playing tonight as well? Don't they have a game?
Play tonight or if they played the night before last. It's confusing because it's so late.
Right.
I mean, the Cavaliers game with them isn't until 10:30 tomorrow.
Yeah, I thought they played tonight, and therefore it was a back-to-back. I might be wrong.
All I know is that they held him out of their last game. That's all I know.
It was the L.A. Lakers who were playing tonight, not the
do they play in the same place now?
No, they have the Intuit Dome is where the Clippers – it's the nicest arena in all of the NBA. It is Steve Ballmer and the money he spent on that dome. And that arena, it is second to none.
So the Lakers are at Crypto, and then Intuit, that's the one. And we're going to talk about them when we sprinkle the infield later on. Have you seen the new Super Bowl ad that they're putting out?
No, I have not.
I think it's Intuit. It might be Xfinity. I'll have to double check, but we're going to tell you all about it when we get into Sprinkle the Infield, 5:30 tonight, because everybody is clamoring for these ads, and I don't want to ruin it until the game.
Yeah. It's like we found out today, too, that Robert Kraft's not going to be in the Hall of Fame class of 2026 when we weren't supposed to find out till Thursday. So that was leaked out. It's like the commercials.
So that makes 3.
Yes.
3. No Bill Belichick, no Eli Manning, we think, and now no Robert Kraft.
Yeah. Early indications, leaks are telling us that.
So why would we tune in to watch the NFL honors? We already know the class already.
We'll see by then if some of it is leaked out because I've got to believe. And when we have Rich DeRozier, he's going to try and join us Friday, the day after we get the official announcement, right, from the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I've got to believe the way they're doing things nowadays, instead of waiting for the phone to ring or that knock on the door, they've been going to their homes and shooting a video. So I'm wondering if some of those have already been done, if they'll be done tomorrow and Thursday or what. So I'm hoping that this means my guy, LC Greenwood, one of the original members of the Steel Curtain, is getting in as one of the players voted in.
It makes you wonder because I mean, when I consider the Pro Football Hall of Fame, I don't consider, even though they should be, coaches and contributors. And if a guy's been passed over that many times, then Bill Belichick, in my opinion, can wait one more year. So can Robert Kraft, because LC Greenwood, and I'm not even a Steeler fan, it's an atrocious thing that he is not a member of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. It's also amazing to me that Hines Ward isn't in. There's guys that have been passed over, and I saw there was a backlog of like 60 senior guys that aren't in the Hall of Fame that should be there.
Well, or at least be considered, and depending on the year, they'll go in. You and I were wondering the other day, right, about, what is the voting for this? How does it, come into play here when you're actually voting for the final modern era guys, the senior players, coaches, and contributors? So here it is. I sent this to you today. I saved it for the show today as well. The 50 voters each pick 3 of the 5 finalists from the senior players, coaches, and contributors, and then between 1 to 3 make it if they get at least 40 votes. And here's the other interesting aspect to this. If no candidate gets 40 votes, the top vote getter will be elected. So every year there's going to be at least one senior contributor or coach that's going to get in based on what this story, I think it was my sources tell me, Adam Schefter's story in ESPN.com. This is where I got this. A new rule also made coaches eligible 1 year after retiring instead of 5. So here's what it comes down to. Between 1 and 3 of those finalists senior, coach, contributor, will be inducted into the Hall of Fame along with between 3 and 5 modern era players from the group of 15 finalists. So the most you could have is 8, okay? 3 from the senior players, coaches, and contributors, and 5 modern era guys. So this class, if it's a full class, will be a class of 8.
And here are the 50 voters. 32 teams in a league.
Right.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
32 teams in a league. Each host city gets at least 1 voter, usually a writer or somebody in media from that city.
Right.
New York and LA get 2. So that gives you 34. And then there are 17 at-large voters. And that comprises the 50 voters. And you've got to have at least 40 voters, 40 votes to get in. So it tells you that 39 guys or less voted for Bill Belichick, and probably the same happened with Robert Kraft.
39 guys or ladies or less, right? Didn't give him the necessary 40 that you need from that senior contributor coaches
Yeah, because
class.
Mary Kay's a voter.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's mixed up. So, we'll find out Thursday night. NFL honors.
Ooh.
And so we'll see if Myles Garrett is your defensive player of the year again.
That, of course, means you have to tonight at 8 p.m. watch the Pro Bowl games.
No, I don't. Don't tell me what to do. Like the NFL. The NFL.
Joe Burrow's in now.
The NBA and you're trying to tell me what to watch.
Joe Burrow. They put in Joe Burrow. You like him?
What do you mean? What's he doing? Is he just there?
He's third quarterback in the AFC behind Shador and Joe Flacco because he's probably hurt.
Behind those guys, yeah.
I'll play. Pick me. I'll take the big kid in the corner.
I will probably tape it just in case somebody gets hurt. Remember when Myles Garrett did this a couple of years ago and he hurt his toe?
Correct. And you saw that he was actually tabbed to be in the Pro Bowl and he decided not to go.
But he did dodgeball, somebody told me.
He's not there.
He's not? Okay, maybe that was an old video of him doing
that.
Dodgeball.
Was.
Oh, was
I think
it?
that's how he got hurt.
That's what it was. Okay, I saw it. See, again.
He had turf toe. Oh, no, that was Darius Garland. My bad.
Yeah, last year and this year. Maybe not for long in Cleveland anymore. We'll have to wait and see. But,
Were you shocked by that last night?
Completely.
You didn't respond to my text.
No clue.
You ghosted me, the kids would say.
I don't know if I thought maybe you were pulling my chain.
Exactly.
So I'm not even going to respond to
Right.
it. There ain't no way they're trading DG for James Harden. I hate sports hate. I hate James Harden.
You're not a fan of him, but you're a fan of this deal, aren't you?
I'm
Darius Garland's played 26 games. What's he give you?
Here's the way I'm a fan of it, if I have to be. Addition by subtraction.
You're
what
right.
are they? 18-7 or 18-8 without him? They're better without him. So that if that means without him is not playing while still in a Cavaliers uniform or trading him to another team and getting somebody in return for him, that means he's not playing either way. So yes, I guess I am a fan of this if it means he's no longer a Cavalier this year and we get out from underneath his contract for the next 2 or 3 years.
Over $42 million next year. And the following year, 44, almost $45 million the following year after that. The guy's just not available. And you've got Harden that would probably just be a rental for this season. Who knows what would happen? He would have to have an extension. Now, this is granted. He has to he has to forego his no trade clause if he wanted to. So he'd probably get out from under him after this season too.
There's a player option next year for him. So he can say, yes, I want to pick it up, but it's not fully guaranteed if the team steps. See, again.
But he may not decide to come anyway. If he doesn't waive his no trade clause, it doesn't matter. It's a moot point. But my point is this. He's 36 years old.
Yeah.
He's averaging 25 and change a game. Take it.
He's never won a damn thing in his life.
Neither is Darius Garland.
Fair point. But he's been around longer. I think he's been to the finals one time. Was that way back when originally it was KD,
City?
Harden,
Westbrook?
and Westbrook. I think they made it to the finals.
What a team that was.
I know, right? And they each went their separate ways.
But Garland can't get there. Donovan Mitchell hasn't been past the second round.
Have you seen – remember how I bitched about Max Strus and I was right? In big games in the playoffs, he sucks, right? He doesn't show up. Harden's worse. Do you see what Harden did? Hold on.
Yeah, but he'll at least get to the line.
Here's Harden. Let's see, 23. Okay, last year, James Harden, in games against the Denver Nuggets, okay, he had games of 6 for 14, 5 for 11, 3 for 9, and then in a Game 7 must-win, do or die, he shot 2 for 8. Okay, that was last year. 2 years ago in the playoffs, they were up 3-2 on Dallas. They lost the last 2 games. So games 6 and 7, James Harden went 2 for 12 from the field and 5 for 16 from the field. And then one more, hold on. Last year against the Celtics in game 7, 3 for 11 again from the field. He chokes.
All right, what did Darius Garland do game 5 against the Indiana Pacers? Was he able to play or was his toe hurt? I think he was injured.
He was hurt. I'm not going to say that was a fair assessment. You just got to look at the
ability, the availability. I mean, I need someone that can at least suit up.
Okay.
If that's the case, you want to go in and you want to use that money because oddly enough, the real weird thing is their salaries match.
Yeah, it does work that way. So if it means I can get out from underneath a contract 1 or 2 years early because of the option that's involved with James Harden for next year, then yes, I do it.
The real thing is this.
I hate saying that.
Brian Windhorst said today that they're also they're looking into maybe other deals as well.
All right.
Anthony Davis was rumored. Giannis is rumored. I mean, you've got to at least figure out what they would be asking if you're, you want to take a phone call and call the Milwaukee Bucks and say, hey, what are you guys looking at?
Right.
Realistically, I mean, whether or not they can make this thing happen or not. The real thing is Andrew Berry is Kobe Altman in all of this, because what this really proves to you is the fact that he's willing to break this thing up, whereas they weren't willing to even discuss it before. We have a core 4 we're rolling with. Well, right now, where's that core 4? That window of opportunity is closing on him, and he's going, we're in win now mode, and I'm all for it. Let's go.
Remember, was it last year or the year before, Rich Paul wanted his client to be traded, meaning Darius Garland. Then they backed off that. Now I'm wondering if they're open to this. I don't think Garland has a no-trade clause. I think Harden's the only one in this, so it would be Harden having to approve it and say, yes, get me out of L.A., and I'll go to the Cavaliers for the rest of this season, and then we'll see what happens.
If Garland had a no-trade clause, he'd probably waive it. He wants out. I mean, we always thought he wanted out. We didn't think that it worked between him and Donovan Mitchell anyway, and at the end of the day, maybe it doesn't. I'd love to see him healthy because I thought he was turning a corner, but he just can't get there.
I loved the pick when they made it based on who was available in that draft. I was a Darius Garland fan coming out of college. I was a Garland fan over Colin Sexton. They were on the team together. That didn't work. 2 small guards. Guess what? It still doesn't work, in my opinion. So as much as I dislike James Harden's game, it's all about me, points and assists.
He's averaging 8 assists.
That's
take
great.
it.
I know. But you think Garland doesn't play defense? Watch James Harden try to play defense.
They both are lousy at defense.
Terrible.
This is all about money. This is all about availability. But let me ask you this.
What?
As it pertains to being available, when you had Kyrie couldn't play in college either. He was injured.
Yeah.
He came into the NBA. He was injured. When they won it, he was injured half the season, but they won it.
Yeah.
So do you feel differently about Kyrie than you would Darius based on the fact that only he won an NBA title?
Yeah, he hit the biggest shot in franchise history. Biggest shot in franchise history. He hit it. He did. It was a tie game, 89-89.
He won it out. He won it, traded away.
On the right wing, they switched off on the defenders. They got Steph Curry on him. He stepped back, drained the triple, and the rest is history. So that cements him in Cavaliers lore forever. Forever.
So what would be the memories of Darius Garland?
Sergeant Hulka and his big toes, not big toe, toes. His right big toe and his left big toe.
No jersey retirement, no number retirement, no statue. Does Kyrie get a statue for the shot?
Yeah, you got to put that shot up there. You kidding me?
Too.
That's worthy of a statue.
You retire all those jerseys, all of them.
Put the whole damn team
Kevin
up
Love.
there.
in there.
2, 3, 1. Love is in the air.
I would.
They ain't done doodly squat this team.
You can't. Who's the guy's name that always took it? J.R. Smith.
J.R. Yeah.
You can't retire his jersey. He never wore one. He was always shirtless, topless, as Lisa would say.
But Darius Garland, yes. As much as I dislike James Harden, I think it would benefit the Cavaliers more in the long run and allow them to do more in the offseason if they don't win it this year by making the trade for James Harden and then getting out from underneath his contract in the offseason.
Kenny, it benefits them in the short run.
Maybe it does that as well. Maybe it helps them now this year because Max Strus may not play this entire year. Who knows?
Trade him.
Yeah. And now let me ask you this as we go to break, and we'll come back and tackle this on the rebound. Wow, football reference, basketball reference. The Schroeder move. Does it make more sense?
Hey, by the
now?
way, you and I are the only people in America who know how to pronounce his name. Go ahead. What's the question?
The Schroeder move.
Yes.
Does it make sense now, maybe, with this in mind that they were going to get rid of Garland?
How many point guards do you need?
Well, I'm just saying. You want a veteran point guard at least. Schroeder is that. And we're going to hear from Mr. Schroeder coming up a little bit later on in the show. Stay with us.
Oh, love is in the air, in the rock.
It's Kenny and JT on WHBC.